and then we have to hammer these suckers out. YouTube is a lie, people. It is a lie. Install videos you see on YouTube are all a lie. Alright, what's up YouTube? What's up Hammerheads? Vanhammer HP, Craig coming at you. Alright, last video we brought was a very sad day at the track. So, we had some suspension parts at the house already. We just hadn't had them installed because we were kind of waiting for another set of suspension parts so we could just put it all on together. Well, after the sad day at the track, I was, I guess, talked into going ahead and getting those other parts. So we have them, bam, right there. Anyway, so we're going to get those on. As you can tell, Racy Lacey is not here. Wife has her at work still, so she should be coming home shortly. I got Pops coming over to help put on the parts, but in the meantime, let's open these boxes. See what's inside. All right, so as you can see there, we got some BMR parts, okay? BMR, great company, great product. Looky here, I'm gonna get my first BMR stickers. Sweet. All right, so here we go, some vertical links. And I got the gray color just because the car is gray. Looks like the red around there will stick out a little bit, but if you see it, it'll let them know we got an aftermarket piece there. All right. If you're gonna do suspension, you gotta do springs, all right? So, these are the BMR Performance Series springs. So I didn't go drag because I didn't want to, we do have a daily driver, so I didn't want to totally sacrifice everything. Your basic upgrades for suspension, and these are the definite must first two probably that you're gonna do for your Mustang. Woo, all right, there you go. BMR, there's your part number. Talk about heavy duty. They are heavy duty. The powder coat looks good. Man, heavy duty, they feel good, they look good. There you go. There again, BMR, part number. All right, I'm excited. We just gotta get Racy Lacey home and then wait on Pops. We're gonna tear it down, put these bad boys on there, see what we got. All right, we got Racy Lacey back. We're ready to start. We're gonna lift her up. We're gonna do it on jack stands. We're gonna do the front first. The back, you have to do each side one at a time because you gotta drop the subframe. It has to be supported and all that good stuff. So here we go. so just an update. Pulled the tire off, got the rotor off. Then you're going to take these two bolts from the rear to take the caliper off. Hang your caliper up there. You can loosen that line there by taking out that bolt. And this is what we're left with. What we'll do now is we disconnected this brake line from right here. We're going to disconnect it from right here and move it to the side. Then these two bolts here and here are going to come out. Then what we'll do is we'll use the nut on the end, turn it around, put it towards the tip, hammer them out, and then we'll come up to the top, take our bolts out here, and then we should be able to get the whole assembly out and get ready to compress the spring and change the spring out. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. You'll put that nut back on backwards like that, and then we have to hammer these suckers out because they're in there good. Oh, dang. Yep. There you go. Springless. Look at that, it's still got a tag on it. That was a lot of work for the spring. Alright. Factory performance pack front spring. What's going in there? So we may not have to compress it too much. But God, that's an inch and it's supposed to be a 1.2 inch drop. That looks, that spring is quite a bit different. GoPro, stop recording. Alright, just stop right there. Look at this, look at this. Black crap all over my face. It's after 7 p.m. Check this out. Yep, that's the same place I started. That's not far off from where I started. 7 hours ago. YouTube is a lie, people. It is a lie. Install videos you see on YouTube are all a lie. Or they don't show the whole truth, which I guess is a lie. I don't know. But it's not. Let me tell you what I've been through today, because I want you to know the truth when you go to install these springs. Alright? Alright. First, spring compressor. So you see this little fancy spring compressor crap on CJ Pony. You know, it's got the little thing right here where it can compress the whole spring at once. Yeah. Well, the BMR spring, the front one anyway, no. Because it's so much shorter that you don't get enough compression to get it back on the strut. Alright, and it's a piece of crap. It is a heavy piece of crap. Now you may say, well, that's what you get for buying a Harbor Freight tool, but I thought it would work at least just once. It's a piece of crap. All of it. Pieces of crap. So yeah. But what else did we have? Oh, okay. So our biggest issue. So we'll come up in here. if you have this little plate here on there, go ahead and take it off too, because it makes things easier. I don't remember seeing that in any install videos. Anyway, so you see that the spring's in there. It's kind of scuffed up and stuff, but when you have to take a spring compressor on and off, on and off, on and off, yeah, it was horrible. So we pretty much got it back together here. You'll notice this right here. This was our issue, okay? So like if you look at all the videos tell you to undo this, freaking put your nut back on there backwards, okay, so that you can hammer this and hammer this out. Well, I have there's probably plenty of video of me and my dad hammering this thing to try to get out. The bottom one was a little trouble, but not bad, and it did come out. The top one, for the love of God, did not want to come out. So what ended up happening, as you'll see now that what ended up happening is that from hammering on this nut, of course, the pressure of hammering this jacked up the threads on this side. Jacked up these threads, and it jacked up the first 3 threads on here. So you could not, so once it came off, it was good, but then it cross-threaded when you try to put it back on. So yeah. So now you have a worthless bolt and nut because it's cross-threaded. So we thought, well, what can we do? So we got a tap and die set. Alright, so the nut will screw on and off the bolt good. Yeah, see? So you think we fixed it, right? But look at it. Well, I don't know if you can tell this on video, but there's a lot of play there in the threads. It's a lot more play than what's on the other one. And so my concern is if we use this and we put it back on there, that, you know, the vibration eventually is just going to back this bolt, the nut off the bolt, and that's not very safe. Well, I don't know if there was an easier way to get that out, but I did exactly what everybody showed to do, and it seemed like every time they hit it with the hammer, it was just like, oh yeah, I'll come out, oh yeah, I'll come out. But we hammered on it, and it took it a while to finally back, and then we had to put a nail pry bar in there and hit it and pry it at the same time just to get it out of there. It was a nightmare. It was a freaking nightmare. I would definitely recommend that if you're doing this job to go ahead and pre-order these in a kit, just in case you jack them up, because then if you jack them up, toss them, put the new ones in, and drive on. It's been a hell of a day, and yeah, I'm really discouraged about ever trying to install stuff myself on this car, because it goes like everything else I try to do. It just never goes easy. Man, it makes me so mad. But anyway, we're going to try to finish this job for you guys. Just know that if this is the first time that you've ever done this or going to do it, I promise you it is not going to happen like you see in other people's YouTube videos. Alright? Okay. Alright. Driver's side. Everything went smooth because we took everything off on the other side until, again, we came to these bolts. Alright, so we got them off. Again, the bottom one came out easy, or easier. Top one, man, just again, just hammering away. But so what we did is we ended up mushrooming the tip a little bit, enough, and I know that sounds weird, I'm sorry, but so it mushroomed a little bit, not enough that we couldn't pull it out, but we got it out. All right, so we still had the problem with the nut where these back threads they just weren't any good after hitting it with the hammer. So what we did though is when we tapped this, I only tapped like the first 3 threads. Then I took the Dremel, grinded down the tip here to remove the mushroom edge, and voila, it worked. It works perfect, just like it did before. So I'm only gonna need 1 bolt. I wish, you always learn as you go, and I'm sure Ford won't sell me just 1 bolt. But anyway, that's how I took care of this top one. Alright, so day 2 on the spring project, just a little update. Driver's side went on good. We did have an issue with the top bolt on that, but we were able to fix it, went on great. Called Ford this morning. You can get just the nut or just the bolt, but they didn't have them in stock, so I had to order it. But they said it would be here tomorrow morning. So, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to come back in here. We're going to put this sucker back in. And I'm going to just tighten it down. Probably just hand tight or whatever. It's not going to come out as long as we're not moving. But I'm going to hammer this back in, put this down, or put this on, lock that down, put everything back together and bring it down. That way I can do the back. And then tomorrow, hopefully everything goes right with the back. We'll get it done today, and then tomorrow I'll go pick up the new nut, and then I can just take this down to where I can get to the nut, take this one off, slap the new one on, and we'll be good to go. All right guys, here we go. We got the back tire off. We're gonna start this install, these suspension upgrades on the back side. The first thing we're gonna do is our vertical link upgrade. That's this piece right here, okay? This upgrade here with the BMR, this is the polyurethane one. This is their least expensive one there on the site, but it is a drastic upgrade over the rubber bushing factory vertical link. So we have a 15 on top and 18 on bottom. We'll remove those. We slide this in just like this. This actually sets into the factory component there, and then you tighten it back down, torque it to the torque specs. The instructions are online there on BMR's website. Super easy. We'll get that done, and like I said, gonna be a good upgrade for wheel hop here. All right, we'll just take a look at the difference between these two. Super easy to get out. Super easy to get out here. The bolts, I used a little support bar to help maybe break it with the ratchet, but I don't even know if that was needed. They weren't real hard to get out. The top one does have like a locking type nut or a support nut. So like when you go to loosen this little tab catches so you can get the bolt out. Anyway, once you get the bolt out, you will have to knock it down. You'll have to hit the top, knock it down to get it up out of there. So we'll see how it fits. But just we'll take a look here. You can see the difference. It's not a solid deal here like this one. It's hollowed out there. These are actually quite heavier than our BMR one, but you can kind of see the difference there in what we're working with. All right, so we'll come back once we got it in. All right, hammerheads, I'm having a time and a half. Okay, so about an hour ago, I said I was going to come back to you with this. Well, it's on now. Anyway, I didn't realize, I've never seen a video where people were having problems getting the bottom one in. So I have been fighting this thing forever trying to get the bottom part aligned. But so if you never see the video, if you've never seen one, all you do is you get your jack here, raise it up, just slightly push up on the rotor, slightly push up here on the rotor, and it will lift up just this portion so that you can line that bolt up and get it in there, and then you can come back up to the top, line it up, get it in here. 81 129 torque, it's on. We can finally now start the back springs. All right, so to start, disconnect this line, this little clip, pull this out so it has some slack. It's your brake line. And then already 2 18s up here, 2 15s on the bottom. You get this thing out, the shock, and believe it or not, that came out with no problem. Oh my god, I think it's the first thing I've had to unscrew that didn't come out with a problem. All right, so next, all there should be to it, and we'll come up under here and let's take a look. So there's where our 2 15s were. All right, so next we got subframe bolt, these 2 small bolts, subframe bolt right up there. So we'll take that one out, and then we'll come over, take the 2 small ones out, and then the last subframe bolt. And that is where we'll have to have our subframe supported, and right here is where we're going to support the subframe with the jack. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show you here real quick where and how I got this subframe supported. So it's just supported by a jack for now. Right here there's this little flat section. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're actually going to, okay, right there there's the 2 small bolts. We'll loosen those. Then the big subframe bolt, we'll pull that out, and then we'll come back here by the exhaust. That's the other subframe bolt. Slowly pull that out. The subframe will drop a little bit. Just come out slowly, let it drop, make sure it's supported, and then from there we'll slowly drop what we need to for this portion that holds the spring in, for it to drop so we can get that spring out of there. Victory! It's not as easy as all the install videos, man. Alright, well there's your comparison. It's not much of a difference. It's really just probably about an inch difference, which I guess equates to about a 1/2 inch drop. But man, I hope that's a lot easier to get in than it was to get out. Haha, hammerheads. Last tire. Alright, but we learned from the first one, so it shouldn't take as long. So let me tell you, to get this back spring out, I had to do a little extra step. Excuse the air conditioner fan coming on. But I had to take this arm off right here. And you got to put an Allen wrench in it to loosen it, or it'll just spin. But I had to take that off, because what you have to do is you have to pull down this whole thing far enough, even with the subframe, to push that spring out of the way. And actually I had not bent it, but I had pushed the spring out, and it was caught in there at an angle, and it took me a while to get it out. But anyway, I had to sit on the rotor, press my back up against the fender to put enough force down on this, reach behind me and pull this spring out, and I still barely did it. I don't know what. Now I will say this sway bar right here comes down and lays on the exhaust, so it'll only go down so far. It's not like you see in YouTube videos, I'm telling you right now. I don't know, people like watching CJ Pony and them, I know they've done it a bunch of times, but even if you've done it a bunch of times, it still takes so much force to pull that down, to get that out of there, that I don't know what they're doing, that where they can, you know, they're editing their shit to where they loosen stuff up and then somebody acts like they're pulling on something and then they pull that out. You know, if it was two man, it'd be easy. You'd have one man sit on this or whatever, or pull it down while somebody else maneuvered the spring. But a one person doing it, it's rough, man. It is rough. Anyway, we're gonna get started on this one. I don't know if I showed an end product on the other wheel, but I'll show it on this one before we cut loose. Anyway, let's get busy. Alright, let me show you how this. See, jack this rotor up and you put this bottom one on a vertical link. It'll line that up. You'll be able to line that up, and then you can come back and pop this one in and line it up, dude. So easy. I messed with this, I'm telling you, for a good probably hour and 15 minutes trying to line this up, because I'd never seen a video. All the videos I watched, of course, were like LMR, CJ Pony, and what do? They just slide that right in, you know, and put it all together. I never watched like an actual person's video where they had trouble lining this up, you know, and the trick to do this. So I spent like an hour and 15 minutes trying to line this thing up. Jack it up with the rotor, line it up, okay? Then you can drop this, it'll line this up, you can put it in. This should take like freaking 30 minutes tops. All right, easy upgrade. It's gonna stop the wheel hop, or at least reduce it. Major upgrade right here for easy price. BMR, if you're doing anything on the drag strip at all, whether you're just stock or whatever, put these suckers on. They're gonna help. All right, onward. All right, there's the end shot. Little red spring in there, looks pretty good. Let's see how this looks with the gray finish on it. You still got a little bit of red, let you know there's a little something aftermarket in there. I think it blends well. Let me tell you, second time around, way easier. All right, let's drop her down, see what she looks like. All right, hammerheads, it's done. I'm done, if you can't tell. American Muscle, 1 wrench out of 3, bullshit. 4-hour job, maybe if you've done it twice before. If you've never done it before, it's a full day job, and that's if you don't mess anything up. I'm so tired. Anyway, the nut did go back on the bolt, but I want to replace it just because I don't feel safe long term with it. But it went on and it tightened up, so we're torqued down. And I guess here, let me give you a little look at it. Anyway, I feel safe to take it for one little quick drive. Tomorrow we'll get that nut, I'll put it on, I'll feel safe to drive the shit out of it and drop the hammer on her. And so I'll bring you a full review video. So, like always, drop the hammer. Peace out.
Do it.